Hey, peace. What's happening, everyone? On our deal with.
Ooh, yeah. Nah, nah, nah.
Suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind,
Like the rushing of a mighty wind. Like the rushing of a mighty wind. Come and fill our hearts again. Like the rushing of a mighty wind.
Yeah, blessings. Once again, you know the routine. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. All of that helps. So you don't know. Without any further ado, let's get started.
You want America to become like great again?
You believe you can read? You believe you can read?
again?
Mm.
Because it's
You
my
believe-
country. I want it
you believe you
to
breathe in
always
air?
be great.
You
I want my
believe
country to always be great.
So are you gonna bring back slavery then?
Hey, Kwame. Do
Oh,
he believe?
you think America was great during slavery?
Well, that's what make America great again. That means you're going to the past, in the past glory. That's when you have slaves, isn't it?
No, if I was rich and then I lose my money, if I was rich from let's say I was rich from selling weed, and then I lose all my money, and then I say I'm gonna be rich again. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna go back to selling weed. I could do something else. So make America great again doesn't mean go back and do exactly what you did to be great.
Yeah, but you can.
Technically speaking, American Dream, when they say make America great again, they're talking about pre-1960 America.
Okay.
According to the magazine.
What I'm saying, pre-19 what? 60?
Yeah. Or
yeah,
some
there wasn't slavery in 1959.
Well,
1959 is pre-1960.
Well, some even go pre-1860.
So make great again doesn't mean go back to slavery.
No. Some even say pre-1860.
Okay. Well, that's them. What I'm saying is that's their interpretation of it. But it can be interpreted, and I think a sensible way to interpret it is that make America great again doesn't mean go through slavery. Because you're acting as if they would agree with you that America was great during slavery.
But American Dream, shouldn't we go with the people that coined the term, like how we go with Martin Delaney?
Donald Trump coined the term.
Yeah, he's talking about pre.
When did he say that?
Probably like 2014, 15.
Probably.
I don't know.
American Dream came from when all the Europeans wanted to.
Kwame, you need to stop, bro.
Hold on.
You're lying on that man. He ain't say nothing like that.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question, right? Should we go with the people that coin certain terms, like Martin Delaney coined the term Africa for the Africans?
Coined MAGA, and he ain't say nothing about which time period he was talking about. Stop making stuff up.
Why don't you want to tear down the system in America instead of build it to become great again? Why don't you rather tear it down? Since it did a lot of damage to your ancestors, why don't you tear it down instead of making it great?
Yeah, I could say the same thing about Africa. Africa did a lot to damage your ancestors. Because don't forget, Africa isn't. I think was it you yesterday that said Africa was a paradise? Well, I don't share that view. I think Africa sold its ancestors into slavery. Africa had slavery.
How do you know that?
That's documented.
How do you know they sold their ancestors? How do you know that?
There are records in the transatlantic slave trade. They have records of it.
Records of what? Africans
of a slave trade. It was a trade. There were Africans selling people. They were kidnapping and selling people into slavery.
Okay.
So that doesn't prevent you.
So
That doesn't. Hold on. I'm not finished. That doesn't prevent you from loving Africa. All the atrocities that happen in Africa's history doesn't prevent you from loving Africa. But you want everybody else to prevent it, atrocities to prevent them from loving their country.
But America was built off of the slave trade, though. You know.
America did what?
It was built off of the slave trade. It wasn't people here selling slaves. That's not what happened.
America wasn't built off of the slave trade.
What do you mean it wasn't?
No, the slave trade wasn't to build America. The slave trade, that was the British that started the slave trade. America
it was actually the Spanish and the Portuguese. It was actually the Spanish and the Portuguese.
The Portuguese, the British, the Dutch, for sure. They're the ones that went in there and started slavery and brought it.
That's the same group that built. That's the same group that built America. That's the same group that built America.
And American Dream. I'm posting links in the chat with.
And they were not building America. The Spaniards didn't come here to build a new country.
I didn't say the Spaniards. I'm talking about the slaves, the actual.
No, I know it wasn't Americans that brought the slaves here. It was the British and the Spanish and the Portuguese.
I know
and let me finish. These people that brought slaves to this landmass had no intention of building a country named America. They wanted it to help their countries. They had no intention of building America. Matter of fact, they fought against America being built. So how is it that America was built on the slaves that was brought here when the people that brought them here wasn't trying to build America?
Free labor. That's what it's called.
Okay,
free labor.
Wait, American Dream. I posted a couple of links in the chat where they asked the people that voted for Trump, what time period do you think America was great? And about 75 to 80% of them said pre-1865. So that means before the Civil Rights Act.
But I asked you for Trump. You said Trump said it. I asked you for the person that said MAGA, which is Trump.
Did he vote?
You said you could get, like, I don't care what those MAGA people say. I don't care.
But you are MAGA. You're MAGA though. You're MAGA as well.
American Dream. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Yes, obviously.
Okay, hold on. We got to deal with him now. Hold on. So, so why did you vote for Trump?
A bunch of different reasons. It wasn't just one reason. I thought he was a better candidate.
Most prevalent. Give us the most.
I thought he shared my values more than Kamala did.
Like U.S. Docs. He sounded like U.S. Docs right now. Hold on. So what values do he share that you share with him?
The stuff he was talking about, mainly the stuff he was talking about with the border, securing the border, a lot of the social issues that he spoke against. Oh man, y'all want me to revisit his own platform right now? I just agreed more with his platform.
No, I said just one the thing that struck you the most. That's what I'm saying. Like the thing that struck you the most.
So American Dream, you basically don't have no problem with Trump deporting people, sending the National Guards to different black communities, or stripping the Smithsonian and identifying Black American history as improper ideology for saying that racism and slavery exists and things like that.
Well, I don't believe that the reason that they are doing what they're doing with this, I haven't read much into it, but I just don't believe that it's as you say, that they're trying to say racism and slavery didn't exist. I cannot imagine.
I could pull it up.
That the president wants it to be taken out of museums that slavery and racism existed in America. I don't think that's what they're saying. I think you're misrepresenting what's going on there.
Why does he want the white South Africans to come to America? Why does he want? He's deporting everyone else, but he wants the white South Africans to come to America.
Because he believes that there's a genocide going on with them.
But is there any evidence of a genocide going on?
Yeah, even when he had the people come to his White House, one of the guys who came to his White House, he was a golf player, mentioned that his own mother was attacked. That his own mother was attacked. And this person, like it was even like he wasn't even supposed to speak, and Trump just asked him to say a few words, and then the reporters asked him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, my own mom was attacked."
American Dream. Can I
Why is he not taking Palestinians? Why is he not taking Palestinians?
Hold on, Jay. Let me just read this. American Dream. Let me read what Trump tweeted verbatim, where he typed verbatim on his Truth app. The museums through Washington, but all over the country, are essentially the last remaining segment of woke. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is horrible for our country. It's how bad slavery was, how unaccomplished the downtrodden has been. Nothing but success, nothing but brightness, nothing about the future. We are not going to allow this to happen, and I have instructed my attorneys to go through the museum and start the exact same process that has been done with colleges and universities, where tremendous progress have been made. The country cannot be woke, but because woke is broke. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want people to talk about it, including our museum. So, do you agree with that?
Yes. Hold on. Let me ask you this question. He said he wants to do exactly what happened in colleges and universities. So are you saying that in colleges and universities, they can no longer talk about, they have to say slavery never existed and racism never existed?
Essentially, yes.
Come on.
He wants to whitewash your history.
Let me read it again. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden has been.
Hold on, do you go right there? Just you're going to be able to finish it, but right there, how bad slavery was. Like he says, he doesn't like how all they talk about is how bad slavery was. Do you think that's the same as saying he wants them to stop talking about slavery altogether, or to say slavery never existed?
My interpretation of what Donald Trump said and stripping the Smithsonian, the African American Smithsonian, is basically, I don't want you to talk about slavery or racism anymore. Let's talk about how good our country is, how successful, and about the future. That's what he said. Not me. That's what he said.
Your boy Ron likes to play. Is it Ron? Is it Ron that plays it? Somebody plays the video of Trump saying
when he's talking about USA Docs.
Yeah, saying they maybe USA Docs. How slaves built the country.
Why is it even being talked about? Like he's not doing none of this to any white communities. It's only to the black community. You know what I mean? He's not doing nothing.
He's not doing what?
He's not putting policies in place that put them at a disadvantage.
They're trying to wipe out your history.
He's not doing
So basically, you agree with J.D. Vance.
Let me understand Dex's question. What's your question?
Why is Donald Trump not doing putting any policies in place that's putting his European people at a disadvantage? Like, why is he only doing that to black people? He's not doing that to any other not any other group, but his own people, any other European group.
Well, I don't know what you mean. Like, I don't understand.
What I mean is ain't none of these
Didn't he
federal agents? Ain't none of these
anti-abortion.
Hold on.
He's anti-abortion, which puts a lot of white folks don't like.
And as far as slavery goes, American Dream.
He's pro-tariff. Hold on. He's pro-tariffs, which a lot of white folks don't like.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the new policy that he put into place, where he got these federal agents running around. They only in black communities. They're not going to any white communities fucking with white people.
He's going to Chicago next.
You talking about illegal immigration, illegal immigrants?
No, I'm not talking about illegal immigration. I'm talking about the militarization of the cities that he's putting these federal agents.
These cities are overrun with crime.
Wait. So American Dream, you agree that speaking about slavery, how bad slavery was, and how bad racism has affected black people, is undermining the American values of this country?
It can be, yes. It can.
Another white supremacist. Another white supremacist.
Yeah, it depends on how they speak about it. It depends on how they speak about it.
So what was the good about slavery and racism? What was good about that?
Wait, does that mean I think that slavery was good?
I mean, if you think that talking about how bad slavery and how bad racism have affected black people in America, and it's undermining their American values, according to J.D. Vance and Donald J. Trump, then essentially you have to talk. Then you agree
if what you're putting in there is not true, if you're putting stuff in there that isn't true, then yes, it.
No, he didn't. He never said anything about false information. He said talking about how bad slavery was and the racism is undermining their American values and what this country was built upon. Then essentially you're saying that it was good, slavery was good, racism was good, and it propelled the black community forward. Slavery and racism.
No, I think you're misrepresenting what he meant when he saying how bad. I think what he meant by
I read what he said verbatim on the truth.
I know that's what he said, but when he said talking about how bad slavery was, he may be saying they are misrepresenting the facts.
Okay, so you believe these prestigious.
And if you misrepresent facts,
I want him to answer my question.
Misrepresent facts, you can undermine America.
So wait, I'm gonna let Dex go after them. Let me just ask one more question. So essentially, you believe that the Smithsonian and some of these prestigious museums are pushing false or improper ideology, according to J.D. Vance and the Trump administration.
Yes, I think that's possible. I don't think it's unheard of that people would spread misinformation. We're in the age of misinformation, don't you know? So yeah, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be like, oh, it's impossible. No, it's possible. Go ahead, Dex.
Okay, so you said that the city. Your answer to my first question was the city's overrun by crime, right?
Yeah, the cities that, as far as I know, the cities where he's put in the military, if you will.
You talk about like the National Guard, or?
Yeah, I think it's Washington, and he said he was considering Chicago and Baltimore.
So why? So are you saying that black people are committing all the crime in the United States?
No, I'm saying most of the crime in the country is happening in these cities.
Okay, I disagree with that. I think crime is crime, and we could generalize crime for what it really means, right? And if you want to be honest, more white people are committing crimes than black people, including the police, including the military, including like just different aspects of everything in crime. But he's only disproportionately bothering blacks with these policies.
Yeah, I don't really believe that. I think that listen. Even I think more policing is good. Even if those cities aren't the worst, I think black people should be welcoming that into their communities.
Why is slave?
As far as I know, the crime rate in Washington has gone down tremendously. I don't think there's been a murder there in like 10 days, they said. So I don't see why, if I lived there, I don't understand why I wouldn't welcome that. Like the most people getting killed in those cities were black people. and the most people being criminalized were black people. So I don't understand why I would be mad that you should be going over there and protecting those white people instead of protecting us. Like,
it's all a system though, because now you got him laying off people from jobs, black people from jobs. You got him also putting in policies in place to take away benefits for black people, and yet we're still in poverty, right? But then you want to go and enforce a crime, a policy to where you want to tackle crime, like as if these people are not in poverty. In order to sustain themselves, they have to commit a life of crime in some aspects, like selling drugs, doing this in order to survive. So why is it that he's putting policies in place to bother us, but he's also it's like cause and effect. He's putting policies to bother us, but he's also being the cause for the reason of him being.
He makes you commit crimes.
I'm not talking about
him. He arrests you for them.
I'm not talking about him specifically. I'm talking about the system that's in place.
The system makes you commit crimes by keeping you poor and then arrest you for it.
Yes. That's basically what they're doing. When they drop these drugs off and these guns off in our communities, right? They're dangling. They're dangling.
When Dex is walking down the street, and see some drugs that's just dropped on the street that the government just dropped there, and a gun that the government just dropped there, what do they think Dex is going to do? Of course, Dex is going to use some of those drugs and shoot somebody with one of those guns. What is America think Dex is going to do?
Or right? I'm going to either sell the drugs, or I'm going to get the gun to use it, or not use it, just have it for protection. This is what I'm saying. They're doing this. You can look at it in Chicago. Chicago people will tell you the government drops off crates of guns in their middle of the neighborhoods, and all of a sudden these dudes got all this militaristic. What do you want people in poverty to do? They're going to want to survive. It's like dangling a piece of meat in front of a dog. Like, come on, this is simple. And now you want to go police the people, which is slave catching, by the way. Policing came from slave catching, and you just made a statement saying that you want more policing in the neighborhoods. So you want more slave catching in the neighborhoods, which you're essentially saying.
You're essentially saying black people are slaves.
That's not what I said. I'm saying policing came from slave catching.
If police are slave catchers, then black people are slaves.
Okay, your point, like, it's not.
My point is, you're not
addressing the actual topic at hand.
I mean, I thought I was.
No, the topic at hand is if he's creating the policies that's also dysfunctioning us as far as poverty, then why is he only tackling us off the crime? That's what I want to know. Because obviously it's more people impoverished in white communities. You got way more poor people in white communities. It's how many millions of white people in America? You don't, and the
crime rate in white communities is just as high as the crime rate.
No, it's not. They don't drop off these guns in their communities. They don't do none of these things. I live in America, so I know this to be factual. This is not just something made up. They don't.
And the prisons make money as well from the prisoners.
Exactly.
So how did the white communities become poor?
They have to do the same thing we have to do. It's just that they have more resources. Did
the government make them poor too?
I don't know why. I'm not a part of their society.
No, did they? You said the government made black people poor and then drop off guns so that they can commit crimes. Did the government make white people poor as well?
I don't know. I'm not a white person.
Is it possible?
It is very possible.
It's very possible because they made the black people poor. If they made black people poor, they can make white people poor too, right?
Well, white people come with a privilege. It's not black people come with a privilege.
Even poor white people, what they got poor privilege?
No, they got white privilege.
Yeah, white privilege.
Poor white people have white privilege.
Yes, they have white privilege. They know they got.
What privilege do they have? The privilege to not be rich?
You said
no
what?
privilege to know that my ancestors were your masters. That makes you privileged. If I know that my ancestors are the ones that own you people, I'll be privileged. Don't you know that? I'll feel bigger than you. I'll feel better than you.
Oh, the poor. Yeah, interestingly enough, I think I think
but these are facts. They're dropping guns off in black communities. They don't do that to the white community.
I mean, Dex, if you walk down the street and see a gun that's dropped off, that doesn't mean you're being forced to pick it up.
That's a white supremacist talking point.
That's a white supremacist.
If you dangle meat in front of a dog, do you think it's not gonna bite it?
Are you a dog, Dex?
We just ran like 3 of them off. Especially what's his name, the European guy that said the black European guy that claimed that he was a dog. He claimed that he was the breeder of a dog.
He definitely said we was bred. He definitely said black Americans was bred like dogs. Definitely said that.
He was proud of it. He was so proud of it.
Okay.
American dream. He was so proud of it, just like you.
So proud of
American dream. I'm kind of surprised that you said that you agree with Trump's position on slavery and racism.
I knew American dream had that mindset. I knew.
So American dream. Do you also agree with Trump getting rid of DEI and the other program that essentially help black people in America, be small business owners or education or things like that?
Do I agree with the Supreme Court's decision? Yes.
So do you also agree with the Supreme Court decision with Dred Scott?
No. And if you remember, that Dred Scott decision is probably one of the most it's kind of like the main decision that goes down in infamy in American history.
Yeah, but if you agree with the Supreme Court decision or DEI and things like that, why you don't agree with the Supreme Court decision that no black person could be a citizen of the United States of America?
Because for one, it was different judges on the court. For one, the one that said what they did about Dred Scott was a democratic leaning court, and the ones that they did here with Trump is a Republican court. You're acting as if the Supreme Court, if you agree with the Supreme Court on gun control, then you must agree with the Supreme Court on abortion.
I'm saying if you adhere to the jurisdiction of the United States, you should honor the court decisions.
Honoring them and agreeing with them are two different things.
No, it's not.
Of course, I'm going to honor them because it's the law of the land. But that doesn't mean I can't say I disagree with this or I disagree with that.
So you agree that
consent is agreement.
Yeah,
it does, guys. Yeah,
essentially, you agree that DEI should be stripped away from people and give the power to these corporations to basically, if I don't want to hire a black person, that's my discrepancy. I don't want to hire a black person.
Because I have like a little small business, and I feel like who I hire, I feel like I shouldn't have to be forced to hire some people. I'm like, hold on, man, this is my business. Like, why am I being forced? If I don't want to hire someone, I should have a right not to. Like, if I don't want to hire you, Kwame, I shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be like, oh no, you need a black person, so you're gonna, like, no, I don't feel like I should be, even if the society was all black, right? I don't feel like I should be told who I can and cannot hire. It's like, wait a minute, is this my business? Do I have a freedom of running my business how I want to run my business? That's crazy. So yeah, I do agree that DEI was telling people they didn't have the freedom to run their businesses the way they saw fit. and that does go against the Constitution. People shouldn't be forced to hire someone because of their race.
It's not based on race.
Why? Because black people are dumb, innit? You think black people are dumb, innit?
No, it's not based on race. It's diversity.
Where do you get that from what I said? Where do you get that from what I said? Jay, do you just like...
No, that's what Donald Trump thinks like. I'm telling you what Donald Trump thinks like.
Jay, it's not based on race.
You seem to have like a Tourette syndrome thing where like nonsense just comes out of you.
American dream. You said based on race. It's not based on race. It's diversity could mean a bunch of things. It don't mean
race. If I said based on race based on race,
or if
I shouldn't have to be told to hire someone because of their race or because of their gender or because of their sexual preference.
We're not talking about that.
Hold on, Dex.
No.
Do you think you should be made to hire someone because of their sexual preference?
No, there's circumstances. Not.
There are circumstances. I don't understand that answer. Listen to the question.
What do you mean?
Listen to the question,
Dex.
Dex.
Okay.
Do you think that if you have a business, right? You're running your business.
Yeah.
Do you think that you should be made to hire someone because they're gay?
Yeah.
That's a yes or no. That's a yes or no. Do you think you should be made to hire someone? Like there are two people.
Yes,
right?
Depending on the circumstances. Yes.
Yeah, you think you should be forced to hire someone because they're gay?
If he a black man and he gay, right? And he got no other option, I will feel.
No. Okay, let's say he's a white man and he's gay. You don't want to hire him because he's white, but they're telling you must hire him because he's gay. So do you think that you should have the right to say no, I'm not hiring him?
I mean, that's free of choice. Yeah, no, I don't think that I should.
Yeah, no. What do you mean? Yeah, no. Hold on, let me get back to you. Think about it, okay?
No, I just said no.
No, think about it. Think about the question.
No, I just
because you're saying you're all over the place with your response right now.
No, you asked me two different questions and I answered both of them.
Okay, yes or no.
I said yes and no. First question.
Yes. Okay, then think about it. It can't be yes and no, bro. It's yes or no. How's the question yes or no, and your answer is yes and no?
Do you ask two different questions? First you asked me.
Let me ask Kwame.
Instead of black, and then you
Kwame. Do you think you should have the right to decide who to hire to run in your business?
Yes, and I also believe I shouldn't discriminate against people based on their religious values. Or
DEI isn't about discrimination. No, listen to me.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
whether you discriminate or not, you do not have to have a history of discriminating. Whether you discriminate or not, you gotta hire a gay person.
So if somebody
got a broken
leg and somebody in a wheelchair,
Dex, I'm speaking to Kwame right now. Kwame, DEI has nothing to do with what did you say?
Discrimination. It's enforced to stop discrimination. So essentially,
the person who did it, like you don't discriminate, right?
Right.
You don't discriminate. So you don't. So if you had the right to hire who you wanted to hire, you wouldn't discriminate, right?
No.
Right. So given that, do you think you should have the right to decide who you want to hire?
Yes, and it should also be laws in place. Let me ask you a question, American Dream.
Diversity.
So essentially, you agree that they should get rid of the Civil Rights Act, basically.
Certain aspects of it, possibly, yes.
Oh my God!
That's what I just said the same thing, and he just
certain aspects of it.
So diversity acknowledges not just sexual orientation, but a list of things: religion, disability. So if somebody disabled, and I would feel the need to have to want to hire that person because he's disabled. It's just how the economy works, right? It's just how society's supposed to work. We're supposed to work together. That's what you're
saying. American Dream. They abolished the Civil Rights Act in 1965. You will have no problem with that.
If they abolished the whole complete act?
Yeah.
I'm not fully abreast of the whole act. Like, I don't know exactly what the whole act entails. So I would have to probably know what the whole act entails.
What about Jim Crow law? Do you agree with that? Like, corporations should have the ability to say, you know what, I don't want this. My establishment is only for white people, so this is a white-only establishment.
Yeah, and black people would be able to say, my establishment is only for black people, and yeah.
Oh, so you don't really uphold any American values. You uphold.
No, that's the main. That's freedom. Freedom of yeah. That's freedom to do with your business what you wish. That's the main American value.
Okay, so yeah, so you agree that Jim Crow? You agree with Jim Crow laws?
Do I agree with Jim Crow laws?
Yeah.
That's what I was just going to say.
Well, the businesses, that's different from a business choosing to do something.
No. Jim Crow laws give the ability for corporations to discriminate against who they want to. If I want to open a white-only business only white people are allowed in,
Jim Crow laws did not give people. If a white person wanted to discriminate against another white person, they couldn't. They couldn't use Jim Crow laws to do that. Jim Crow laws gave them the right to discriminate just against black people.
No, they also discriminate against other people too, Jews.
But it wasn't against
Asians.
But a white person couldn't discriminate against a white person, even if they wanted to. They couldn't discriminate against a white person and use.
So you're telling me if a gay white man walk into a Christian establishment, they couldn't tell him, yo, you're not allowed here?
Because he's gay, not because he's white.
But you just said regardless of if they're white or not. I just said if they're gay.
What?
That's exactly what I was
said to you. The Jim Crow laws doesn't allow a white person to discriminate against a white person. And your answer is, what if he's gay? Okay.
So what about when they
gay, what about because he's white?
Okay, what about when they was discriminating against people that was Catholic, white people that was Catholic?
They weren't discriminating against them because they were white. They were discriminating against them because they were Catholic.
But they're still white.
But they were discriminating against them. Jim Crow says you cannot discriminate against someone because they're white.
But that's the point. He's saying he's a white boy. He's a white boy going to the Christian establishment. So he's denying him because he's white. The dude is white. You can't say it's not because he's
but
not.
But it's not
white.
Because he's white. It's because he's a Catholic.
But he's white.
White, yeah. That's
Jim Crow doesn't tell you can discriminate against Catholics, and it says you cannot discriminate against whites.
But he's white though, so he's being discriminated against.
You cannot discriminate. When I say you cannot discriminate against whites, I mean you cannot discriminate because he's white.
On the basis of whiteness, right?
Yes, you can discriminate on the basis of gayness. So if a white person is gay, you can discriminate against him, not because he's white, because he's gay.
But the fact of the matter is he is white though.
Yeah, that's just a coincidence. But they're not discriminating against him because of the whiteness. If he stopped being gay, he would get no discrimination.
So essentially you agree with Jim Crow law that discriminates against black people just because they black?
No, I'm telling you that's why listen to me, Kwame.
You just said you agree.
Kwame, I said that is why I disagree with Jim Crow, because it was only discriminating against blacks.
American Dream, you just said you agree with Jim Crow laws.
No, I
didn't say that. Dex, am I bugging, or did he not say
it? He said it. He said certain.
You're bugging.
He said certain parts. I ain't gonna lie.
You're bugging.
Okay, you said certain parts. So what parts do you agree with?
When I said certain parts, I was talking about the Civil Rights Act. Y'all are all over the place.
No, I heard what you said.
Nothing. Y'all are all over the goddamn place.
I just defended you. I swear to God, then I just defended him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So what do you disagree with, and what you agree with?
What I said was, listen, I don't have that whole bill in front of me right now, and I'm not even about to go through it piece by piece.
Nah, you don't have to go through the whole bill. Just like what parts you agree with, what parts you disagree with.
I don't know the whole thing to tell you, bro. I don't have it on the top of my head. This is one of them same things like that Egyptian stuff you penned.
What
we
about
have to go through it and look at it and say, yeah, this one, that one.
But
I'm not that familiar with it to be like, yeah, this and that and this and
that. But
if
you're not that familiar with how do you agree with some parts of it?
I said I'm sure there are parts of it. What did you ask me?
I asked you, would you agree would you support
the right parts
the Civil Rights Act? And I said, yeah, possibly parts of it.
Okay, and then I asked you, so you also agree with Jim Crow? That
Jim Crow has to do with civil rights.
It has a lot to do with.
You think everything about civil rights has to do with Jim Crow?
Yes, it's hand in hand.
American Dream.
Hold on, civil rights is broader than Jim Crow, though. That's why the Civil Rights Act is still in existence.
Bro,
today.
Jim Crow laws.
Bro, hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Civil rights is bigger than Jim Crow. The Civil Rights Act is still in existence today, but there's no Jim Crow. The civil rights of today isn't to fight against Jim Crow. Jim Crow civil rights is bigger than just Jim Crow.
It is?
Yeah.
Explain.
I thought I just did.
Because Jim Crow gave the ability for corporations or people to discriminate against people's race, religion, or culture.
The Civil Rights Act, for one, didn't the Civil Rights Act bring about immigration into America?
Like, the Civil Rights Act gave the ability of the federal government to protect people against their race, their sexual orientation, and their religion and the culture.
The Immigration Act of 1965 was part of the Civil Rights Movement.
So you also agree
that Immigration Act had nothing to do with Jim Crow.
Hold on. I want to ask a question.
Go ahead, Doug.
Okay. So
Jim Crow is bigger than I'm sorry, not Jim Crow. The Civil Rights Act or the Civil Rights Movement is more than just getting rid of Jim Crow. Jim Crow was just in the South. The Civil Rights Act
Jim Crow was also in the North too.
Okay, Jim Crow laws were only in the South. There were Jim Crow type stuff going on in the North, but it wasn't Jim Crow laws. So Civil Rights Act wasn't just about Jim Crow laws or Jim Crow. It was broader than Jim Crow, bro.
Hey, so I got a question. So when we was talking about DEI, right? You said basis on race, but it's not just about diversity either. It's about inclusion. So you don't feel that we have a obligation to make sure that people is in a safe work environment. Is treated
inclusion means I have to make sure that there is a.
I'm reading the definition.
Included. It says I have to include a Hispanic or I have to include a woman.
No, that's not what it says.
No, it don't. You're giving your anecdotal.
Yeah.
What does inclusive mean?
I'm reading.
What does inclusive mean, Kwame?
Hold on. I'm reading what inclusion mean right now.
What does inclusive mean? What does it mean?
I'm reading it to you right now in my question. That's why I'm integrating it with my question. So you don't believe that people have a right to feel a sense of belonging and is treated with respect and is valued for their unique perspectives and contributions? That's what it means. I'm reading it to you.
It's a question. It means the meaning of it is a question.
No, I'm integrating the meaning in my question because I can read the question to you.
Bro.
Hey, but DEI, you said he gave an anecdotal meaning of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely anecdotal because see, this that white supremacist talking point because it says creates a welcoming environment where individuals feel a sense of belonging and is treated with respect and is valued for their unique perspectives and contributions. That's what inclusion means. So you can't say just because you're Mexican or that's not what it means. You feel me? That's not exactly what it means. That's not what it means. These are the black conservatives that we be talking about because they just be like misinterpreting the actual meaning of a word. That's exactly what that is. Bro, it literally says for diversity, it says acknowledges the full range of human differences such as race, gender. So he was correct on that. That's diversity. But the only thing he didn't mention was disability and socioeconomics. It says equity, so like basically a fair set of circumstances. You know, like basically black people are more oppressed, so it would be right to hire a certain amount of black people to get them out of poverty. You feel me? So it's I don't know, man. Like, cause now he making it seem as if people are hiring people based on these things. That's not what really happening. Because if I'm a black person, right, I'm not gonna tell people out loud that I want to hire a black person. I'm not gonna say that out loud.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm just gonna hire my people. I'm not gonna, you feel me, say it out loud. That's why these systems are in place, so that it ain't being discriminatory. You feel me? Like you have to hire at least a white person or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to make it fair. Yeah. So it's like they're misinterpreting what the actual meaning of it means. Because you was on point with the Christian point. Like if, but he's still getting discriminated against because he's white. You feel me?
Exactly.
He's Christian. It's not making no sense.
I didn't say it's solely based on race. People were discriminated because they was a woman, because they was Catholic, because they was Jewish, because they was Asian.
Right.
Hey, so, Kwame, look, Kwame. Dean is on my side now. Look. If everything I say is correct, she's always been on my side. Hey, what is this?
No, she disagreed with me. She said civil rights was created because of Jim Crow. That's what she said.
Yeah, she did just say it.
She just said that.
Okay, it may have been, even if that's true, that doesn't defeat the point that it's still bigger than Jim Crow.
Said that it only applies.
It applies to more than what was happening with Jim Crow.
She said that only applied to big corporations. That's what she just said.
So she not agreeing with, she agreed with me.
Look, whoa, hold on. Look, hello. Did you see? Look at your screen.
Everything. What she just said? She said, I'm gonna read her comment verbatim. Civil rights was created because of Jim Crow.
Like there are certain the George Floyd Act, for example.
Oh my God.
Could have been put in place because of what happened with George Floyd. But what it covers is more than just what happened with George Floyd. It can cover other things as well.
Like what?
So it happened because of George Floyd. It happened because of Jim Crow, because of what was going on in the South. But it covered more than that. That's all I'm saying, bro. It's bigger than Jim Crow.
Black people, it's there to protect white people.
The fact that it was created because of Jim Crow doesn't mean it's not bigger than Jim Crow. That it covered stuff that wasn't even going on with Jim Crow. Like stuff that wasn't Jim Crow related, like other stuff. Women's rights became involved. Jim Crow wasn't messing with women. There weren't Jim Crow laws against women, but the Civil Rights Act included women.
Was women not being discriminated against?
There were no Jim Crow laws against women, bro.
I'm just asking, was women also being discriminated against?
It doesn't matter. There were no Jim Crow laws. The Civil Rights Act was. You know what, man?
So
I'm just asking a question. You said it don't matter. That's not a.
There's discrimination going on against women today. So of course there was discrimination going on against women back then. But we're talking about whether or not the Civil Rights Act is bigger than Jim Crow. Discrimination against women is not about Jim Crow.
Boy, you
but the
slick.
Civil Rights Act covers discrimination against women.
Boy, you slick, American Dream. You slick.
I'm slick. Come on, man. How's that?
So it was just for a group of people, not everybody in specific. Is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it's all I'm saying is this. That's why I'm like, the Civil Rights Act is not just
American Dream. You're a real general.
Yo, so if I said, okay, if I was to say, if I say I like parts of the Civil Rights Act should stay, in your head, what y'all heard was parts of Jim Crow should stay. And I'm like, no, the Civil Rights Act was more than Jim Crow. So if I say parts of the Civil Rights Act,
technically speaking, American Dream, when people talk about the Civil Rights Act, they usually equate it with Jim Crow.
Right.
Well, that's people, dog. I'm the American Dream. I'm not people. And you need to deal with those people on that from the get-go, from the start. That's what I said. Civil rights is bigger than Jim Crow.
How did this come in between DEI?
I wouldn't scrap civil rights because of Jim Crow. That's not it. That's just.
But DEI, you just gave me an anecdotal reason of inclusion.
Or what?
Yeah,
you gave me an anecdotal meaning of inclusion, and I read the.
What you mean, an anecdotal meaning of inclusion? What you mean?
I read the definition.
You read a question. You said a question.
Yeah, but listen.
Now read the definition without your question.
Okay, no, but it only makes sense. It only makes sense for me to ask my question with the. Ask my question. No,
this shit.
No. Listen.
It only makes sense
Let me talk.
If he reads the definition and frames it as a question.
No, because I'm trying to articulate my words right. What I was saying is, when I was reading,
it's not your words. You're reading something. It's not your words. Just read what the thing said.
When I asked the question, I was reading the definition in my question. That's what.
You know why you do that? I don't want you to do that.
Why?
Just read the definition, because we're trying to figure out what inclusion means. If we're trying to figure out what inclusion means, why are you putting a question in it?
Let Dex read the definition.
That's what I'm trying to get him to do, but he's refusing.
Okay.
He wants to put it as a question. I'm like, what?
Listen, inclusion creates a warm, welcoming environment where every individual feels a sense of belonging and is treated with respect and is valued for their unique perspectives and contributions.
I don't want to have to hire somebody based on that shit. I don't want to have to
hire somebody. No.
Let me finish. I didn't cut you off. You read the whole definition. I don't want to have to be hiring somebody because I want to what? Make people feel included in. No, this is my business. All I'm caring about is my business and what's best for my business.
How you gonna run your business if don't nobody feel safe, ain't nobody feeling respected? How you gonna run a business?
Ain't nobody feeling respected. If I hire them, they're gonna feel respected.
No,
and if they don't, they can quit and I'll hire somebody else.
So you saying bosses are oftenly nice, generally nice people? Is what you're saying? That's what you're saying.
Yes,
bosses aren't generally nice. They're not generally nice people. They're not generally nice people. They're put there to
I'm
tell
a nice
you what
boss.
to do.
I'd be a nice boss. I'm a nice boss. I'd be a nice boss.
They're put there to tell you what to do.
Okay, bro. If they're put there, then they're not the boss. If they're put there to tell you what to do, then they're not the boss.
So what do a boss do? That's what I want to know.
What does a boss do?
Yeah.
He's not put there. He puts stuff there. Listen, man. I don't even know what we're talking about no more.
If somebody hires you, what are they to do? Do they not?
Listen, all I'm telling you is, read that definition again.
Dude, all right, one more time.
Hold on, give me a sec. I gotta take a call. I'm gonna come right back.
Inclusion creates a warm, welcoming environment where individual feels a sense of belonging and is treated with respect and is valued for their unique perspectives and contributions. That's what a job is.
Okay, sure. That's after I hire them. After I hire them, I have to make them.
Yeah.
Hold on. That's after I hire them.
Yes, that's inclusion though. Yeah.
But that's after I decide to hire them.
Okay, so you're not going to make somebody feel welcome when you hire them?
After I have hired them. Listen.
It's not when you hire them. It's not after. It's not after, because the fact of the matter is,
before I hire them, I have to make them feel what? Go ahead, read it again.
Yes.
Before I hire them, I have to do what?
I'm about to read it. If you have to make before you hire somebody, you want to make them feel a sense of belonging and treat them with respect and value their unique perspectives and contributions. If you're gonna hire somebody, if you hire
before
somebody,
I hire them.
Yes, because that's how you hire people. Who's gonna want to work for you if you're not making them feel respected? If you're not valuing their perspectives? If you're not,
when they come into the interview, I have to make them feel respected.
Go look at the worst rating jobs right now. It's gonna be people reviews right now that's gonna say that they didn't feel respected, that they didn't feel that all before hiring. All before hiring.
And can you sue the job for that? Can you sue the person?
It's called discrimination. Yes, you can sue them. You can even sue a job.
Making you feel comfortable in the interview?
Hold on, you can even sue a job. I just found this out because I was in trucking school. You can even sue a job before you get hired if they ask you for your personal information. You're not supposed to even give your personal information to them until they hire you. You can literally sue them.
Wow.
I got the paperwork right here.
It makes it feel sucky to be a boss.
It's not.
That make me not want to hire nobody. That's what y'all doing. Y'all making it where people don't want to hire nobody.
I want you to listen very, very carefully.
It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them out to one, hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them, rifle a beat. Everybody want the cops and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 days, we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now cater about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle was a mate. The system will slide where you fit.
Inna the streets where we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest say them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. Everybody just a pre-success. When me looking at the street, you me see enough stress. Them all a fight for who reach up next. Everybody want floss and a beat up chest. Juvenile in a them teen love sex. Them a breed the fast money, them no need subjects. And if you're unfortunate, please don't vex. Also the things said cause the streets don't rest.
Inna the streets where we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest say them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah. It's all about life in the street. People are suffer, try survive in the heat. Bad mind them out to one, hygiene a tweet. That's why enough of them, rifle a beat. Everybody want the cops and want to drive in a Jeep. Every day I'm at the ball when she buy in a read. Not even 5 wheels, we can't find for the week. Me no see no changes, the same cycle repeat. Give thanks cause life it's a sweet. But keep an eye open every time you go sleep. Cause mankind jealous and them idle go late. Them never yet plant and not try figure rape. Bigger heads where you fight for the sake. Now cater about the future nor the child where you creep. Them a pray the fat Kyle was a mate. The system will slide where you fit.
Inna the streets where we born and grow. Only Jah know and nobody know.
When we talk about ghetto life, talk about ghetto life.
Everybody a priest say them want it though. That's why them a speed and they pan the go.
Cause this a real ghetto life. This a real ghetto life. Yeah.